Thank you very much. Let me first of all recognize in our midst Honorable Alex Boyd Knight, our Speaker of the House of Assembly, Honorable Catherine Daniel, our Minister for Social Services, Honorable Rosin Paul, Member of Parliament for Paybush, Honorable Ian Douglas, Member of Parliament for Portsmouth, my cabinet colleagues who are here, my friend Ms. Ophelia Benjamin, Justice of the Peace, Mr. Honoré, Mr. Fountain, who is the local government commissioner, and I see the acting deputy and the staff here. Let me also recognize His Worship Titus Francis, our mayor, the mayor of Portsmouth, Mr. Hubert Remy, the chairman of the Paybush Dodan Village Council and councillors, Mr. Yolan John Jules, who is the chairman of the Vacas Village Council. I see Mr. Bontiff, the chairman of the Tibo Village Council, principals, staff, and students of the Dodan Primary School, ladies and gentlemen, friends all, the media, good afternoon. I want to also recognize publicly and to commend the efforts of your district development assistant, Ms. Charles, here, in that district. Who in my mind is doing a very wonderful job representing the interests of local government authorities here in that district. I also want to congratulate Mr. Hubert Remy, and the councillors for coming forward again to contribute to nation building. It is easy for us to talk, but it is commendable to those who come forward and put their hands up in an effort to make a contribution. Leadership at any level is a difficult task. You are blamed for everything that goes wrong, and nothing that goes right you're held responsible for. But that is supposed to be an encouragement for you to persevere on and to remain focused on the task at hand, that is to bring improvements to Paybush and Dodan. I have great personal confidence in the efforts of Mr. Remy, who has demonstrated his commitment to this community over the time. And rest assured, Chairman and councillors, that this government, which I have the honor to and privilege to lead, will continue to work with you to bring development to this part of Dominica. And to get the ball rolling for the second term, though you have some projects that have already been approved, the government will make available to the communities of Paybush and Dodan a sum of $400,000 that will go exclusively, to small business development in these two areas. Also, the Member of Parliament, both members of Parliament, have indicated the government's commitment to improving on infrastructure. And funds will be approved by the Cabinet in the next 2 weeks to improve and upgrade every single road in the Portsmouth and Paybush constituency. So every single road has been listed in these two constituencies. I'm talking about Portsmouth and Paybush. No. Constituencies I'm talking about. Constituencies. And funds will be made available. We'll utilize both local government authorities, let's say the Town Council, the Portsmouth Town Council, and of course the Paybush Dodan Village Council, to assist us in implementing those projects. In addition to that, you know the government has launched a very ambitious program to eradicate the presence of pit latrines in Dominica by the end of 2017. We have made the resources available for these two constituencies, or these two villages, to eradicate pit latrines entirely in Dodan and Paybush. So before, if all goes well, before the end of March, April, May, I believe you can achieve universal access to washrooms in this part of Dominica. And for those who do not have water, the government will connect water for you at no cost to yourself. I know of the, and I've spoken of roads, I know of the Grand Riviere problem there. Also the Zolive, the funds will be made available to address those programs. I recognize that we left out the students who are attending the State College from Dodan in the consideration. That will be addressed this week, so we will certainly ensure that you enjoy the same benefits as those of Paybush. See, the challenge you have with Paybush is that, as Honorable Douglas said, you're part of the Possum constituency, but you're part of the Paybush Village Council, so sometimes you are part of the consideration within the Possum constituency, and you're left out to the Paybush considerations. I want to also indicate to you as students that we are going beyond our call of duty as a government. We have invested in the State College over $35 million to build one of the most modern state college facilities in the OECS. And the state is fully financing the running of the State College. And we go beyond and we provide students with the tuition fees, and in some cases textbooks, and in some cases uniforms. And now we're talking about assisting you with the covering of your transportation. And on top of that, we even give the students tablets to access the internet to do their research. And on the campus, which is the only campus in the Caribbean that has universal access to the internet, the State College. So anywhere you can sit on any tree or in the washroom or anywhere you are in the State College, you can have access to the internet. My challenge to you young people is that you must take advantage of these opportunities and make yourself and country proud. Because the facts will show that the efforts that are being manifested now are unprecedented. They were not the case before this government came into office. And we have to ensure we take advantage of this. Likewise, those of you who attend the secondary schools, we provide similar arrangements. And there's no reason why our children should not do well. But doing well is a responsibility of the student and the families and the school system. It is not the responsibility. I must not be blamed, neither should the minister be blamed if our children do not do well. Because I can say to you, there were recommendations before to close this Dodan Primary School and the Tibo Primary School. And I said to the World Bank, who was pushing this, and in some cases the staff of the Ministry of Education, I said, as long as I am Prime Minister of Dominica, no small school shall be closed. Because we understand as a party how important schools are for a community. But we must take advantage of the opportunities. I am asking and beseeching parents and students, because we would like for all of our students to do well and to go out to study and come back and make a meaningful contribution to our development. We have started, as you know, the new National Hospital. Those of us who live here may not be able to see what's taking place on the site, but work has started. They have started the first phase of the hospital, having provided temporary accommodation for the blood bank and also the labs. They've now started the foundation works for the first phase of the National Hospital being financed by the government of China. So work is ongoing on this. The Chinese government are also going through the tender process in China for the commencement of the West Coast Road, which will include several of the bridges. And a number of other very critical interventions which the government is making. As you know, we've had to resettle several individuals post-Erica. And this is a huge cost. We have resettled Dubic residents, and we're spending more money, over $2.7 million, building infrastructure, roads, and retaining walls there. We've signed all of the contracts for the construction of the homes for the residents of Petite Savanne. 381 homes to be built is a significant sum. And plus infrastructure, plus playing facilities, markets, a health center, and the like. So these things they cost money. It's a huge cost to the government. The National Employment Program, it cost us just for 6 months, about $6 million to provide wages and emoluments to those engaged under the program. And we have to appreciate those things are being done, my dear friends, at a time when the world is going through its challenges. We have not recovered from the recession which began in 2008. It is still with us. But the good Lord has been good to us and has been able to provide us with the resources we require to take care of ourselves for the time being, and for that we must be grateful. I want to say to the farmers in this part of the country that the government has placed, as you know, $10 million at the Aid Bank at an interest rate of 3% with a grace period of 6 months. I am urging the farmers to take advantage of this opportunity. It is an opportunity for you to have access to working capital, because most of us who farm, we have some challenges. One, the payment of farm labor, and two, the procurement of inputs. And we are providing you with an interest rate of 3% at the Aid Bank to be able to finance your agricultural pursuits. And agriculture, an extensive array of areas in agriculture, whether it's livestock, whether it's tree crops, whether it's vegetables, whatever investments you make in agriculture, we are providing for you. As a matter of fact, we have gone far as even making an amendment to the loan agreement with the Aid Bank. Because what we found out was that a number of farmers who need recertification, they need to have proper facilities on the farm, so a proper shed and the likes. And we are now allowing the Barano farmers to access the loans to be able to build those sheds and make themselves, to meet the requirements for certification by WinFresh. So there are a wide range of areas that we cover in a $10 million loan at the Aid Bank, which I am urging you to take advantage of. I want to leave you, my dear friends, with some concerns I have. One has to do with the high prevalence of chronic non-communicable diseases in our country. I have been championing the call for us to be more mindful of the impact of CNCDs on our society. And it's the world over. And therefore we have to watch what we eat, we have to exercise. If the bus drops us off down at Sus, we shouldn't be waiting for a bus to go us right up to Paybush. We should walk. You see what I'm saying? We should walk between Paybush and Doden and so forth, exercise, walk up the hill rather than waiting for a ride to come up the hill. So we have to go back to the days when exercise was a natural thing. I know we have made progress and people have rides and people have vehicles and so forth, and we do not want to walk and so on. It happens to all of us sometimes. But we have to be conscious of the impact of CNCDs in our society. And not only back in the days when we thought only old people, so-called old people were getting sick, but young people are getting hypertension. Young people are getting diabetes. Young people are suffering from strokes and the likes. And for somebody at 30 years or 40 years to have their legs amputated because of the ravages of diabetes, it's a challenge. So I'm urging us there to pay attention to this. So if we can have some exercise programs, the council, on once a month to bring our consciousness, to raise our consciousness about CNCDs, that will be helpful to all of us who live in Dominica. And the other one has to do with, and all of us mention it, so I mention it myself too, the issue of solid waste management. Solid waste management. I understand that the solid waste department has to come to collect garbage from time to time. But I believe that we can reduce on the volume of garbage which we send from our homes by about 60% if we manage it properly. We're not in a city, which means that we do not have backyards. All of us have some backyard. As small as it may be, we have a backyard. You can dig a hole about 3 or 4 feet in your backyard, as we should do before. and dump stuff in the, stuff you can, the perishable. Because when we send all of this stuff, and it is not reflecting good on yourselves and all of us, when we drive through Dodan and we drive through Peebush and there are mounds and mounds of garbage and so forth. And I know it irritates all of you who reside in there. So the corrective action is in your hands. And if we make a concerted effort to have it corrected, we can correct it. So let us, when we drive through Dodan and Peebush this weekend, we see none of that taking place. I am totally opposed to the building of skips along the roadside in Dominica. It's a bad idea. It should not be encouraged, and we should desist from building skips around the highway in Dominica. And I know Peebush and Dodan very well. And you also, my dear friends, must be vigilant. Because what I understand is that there are people from outside our communities who leave their homes and businesses with the garbage and so forth, and they just stop and drop it off and drive away. Because that was not Peebush at all. That is not Peebush, that's not Dodan. I mean, you never drove through Dodan and Peebush and see garbage building up. You understand what I'm saying? And therefore, we have to be vigilant, and we have to make the world and the communities know that we will not tolerate it, and it must stop, and we must desist from doing that and so forth. So it's in your hand. We're all on the same page in respect to the problem and in respect to the solution to address this. But rest assured, my dear brothers and sisters, that this government will assist you with your development. The government cannot do it alone. We all have to work together. And I am saying to the council, if you really want to bring development to your communities, work closely with your pal rep and the government. Because you will try to sell 1-2 bakes and cake after church. But the challenges which you have, it will not be enough to even pay the person who baked those bakes and those cakes. And therefore you need to work with the government so that the resources can pass through you and it can reach the people in a more efficient manner. Because what we've been doing over the years, and it is a dramatic effort which the government has taken, is to empower local government authorities, not in words, but in deeds and actions. And this is the few countries in the world where you will see the extent of which central government uses local government authorities to implement projects and programs. And I can tell you, as the Minister of Finance, I love working with local government authorities because they are more efficient than government, and sometimes they do things much cheaper than central government. So, you have a friend in me. You understand? Do not disappoint me, because accountability is important. We must keep proper records of the state funds, because ultimately we have to account for the taxpayers' money. But work closely with your partner as you're doing, and we will assist in providing the resources to implement programs which will benefit the citizens of this country. Let us pay attention to the senior citizens, the sick and shorting. Roads are important, very important, but the human aspect of development is also critical. So I want you in your planning and programming to pay special attention to the senior citizens among us. Let us work together, my friends, to build this country, to build Peebush, to build Dodan, and of course Providence and Belmane and Moorpark. You know, wonderful communities, very hardworking people. And we have the greatest appreciation for all of you and your efforts over the years to build Dominica and to build the communities. Communities are rich in history, rich in culture, and really at the vanguard of promoting our cultural heritage in Dominica. So we look forward to working with you. The mayor of Portsmouth, I can tell you, in the next several months, based on the extent of the investments in Portsmouth, you may be the most successful mayor the Portsmouth has ever seen, because of the resources that we will spend in the town of Portsmouth and so on. God bless all of you. I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.